Okay, so welcome to session 9, which is going to be our final session today. Before I pass things over to Paul, I do just want to give a couple administrative announcements. I'm sure by now everyone knows all of these things, but I do just want to go through them this one final time. This session is being recorded, so please make a note of that. The recordings, the slide decks, and then any other meeting materials, including any applicable notebooks, are going to be made available on the CCSQ DNA portal following the conclusion of our event. Just a reminder to please give us a few days to turn those materials over to make sure they're 508 compliant and accessible for all. We are going to have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation as long as time permits. Please remember to put any questions in the chat, and then that way we can get to those and make sure that we're answering them there. And then team members may also be contributing in the chat, but anything that we need more clarification on or need to circle back to, we'll be sure to make note of those and get that all published and turned over to the portal as well. Okay, so with that, I'm going to pass things over now.
Good afternoon. My name is Paul Crawford. I'm the STAR team product owner. If you want to go to next slide. And so the STAR team is primarily tasked with maintaining, managing the CCSQ application of QuickSight, AWS QuickSight. So we're going to talk a little bit about what QuickSight is. And then, as many of you may have received email notifications over the last several weeks, days, relating to some changes that were made within QuickSight and how QuickSight works interacts with the central data repository. We're going to focus on what happened and how that affects our users. And I also have one of our team members on with me. So if there are technical questions that we need to ask at the end or any assistance that we need, we have that time available and him available to help answer those questions. So what is QuickSight? QuickSight is a business analytics tool. It's the tool that we've chosen for CCSQ primarily. It allows us to create data sets and visualizations that we can publish as dashboards, that we can embed into other applications, or that we can make available as needed to user groups. Next slide. So QuickSight works by using 4 different assets, consists of 4 different assets. First is the data sources. So that's your connection to the different databases that you want to use. From there, you can create your data sets, which can be single table, multi-table, SQL state queries. You take your data sets, and then from there, you can start building your analyses. So that's the editor tool. So you can start putting together your visualizations, design things, look at the data, really be able to kind of look for trends and things that you want to see to try to help decision makers make those decisions. Once you have your analyses to the certain level, you can publish those as dashboards. So those are generally read-only, but they allow users to go in, use different filters to find the data that they need to get to. Next slide. So why did we migrate, and what was the migration? Sorry, next. So there were performance issues within the CDR with the AWS Glue connectivity to Redshift, and that was also present within QuickSight. And so together we worked to migrate our assets so that everything can connect directly to Databricks through Unity Catalog instead of using AWS Glue. So this migration happened last weekend. Again, there were multiple emails that went out about it, that literally we did this in conjunction with the CDR team so that we all migrated to move off of AWS Glue and move to Unity Catalog. So who is affected? So if you have a dashboard that is using anything from the CCSQ data warehouse as a data source to create those assets, the data sets, anything that's got a CDR in the schema the prefix, so that anything that's coming from the CDR was impacted with this. If you have dashboards that do not use data from the CDR, you are not impacted by this migration. Next slide. So to kind of highlight how things are working and what happens. So AWS QuickSight is a tool that can connect to various different types of data sources. You can connect to a Postgres database, Redshift database. You can upload your own files. One of those connections that we have there at the top is a connection through AWS Glue to Redshift. This is how things were working previously within QuickSight before the migration. You go to the next slide. We have removed the AWS portion and instead the AWS Glue portion and moved and replaced that with Unity Catalog. So you're connecting directly with Databricks. This effort was done to enable enhanced self-service, improve metadata tools, and provide stronger integration with the CDR. The next slide, please. So with it, we have discontinued the AWS Glue service or the Glue connection to Redshift. And we've worked with a number of organizations to ensure that we have that the data sets duplicated that are going through the Unity catalog instead of going through Glue. And so hopefully it was a fairly seamless, for most people, a seamless migration with some minor steps that need to be taken. Next slide. So an email was provided post-migration with the action steps that we need to take if you do have databases or dashboards that are using the data sets from the CDR. And so kind of walk through these in a little bit more detail. So next slide. So the duplicated data sources for each organization were created with the CCSQ Databricks Warehouse Prod prefix. So when you see those out there, this should be the data source that you should be using going forward for any new assets. Anything you're building out new, you'll want to use those new connections so that it utilizes Unity Catalog. Next slide. So other assets that were duplicated into Unity Catalog, they have the added Databricks migration suffix. At this time, you can rename those if you want to. Those were there for clarity so that it was easy to determine which duplicated data sets were assets were for the migration and the new ones that should be used. The other thing that will need to be done is any dashboards that have that are embedded into an external website will need to have updated URLs to point to the new dashboard. Next slide. The big thing to remember is that the legacy assets are not being updated. And after a 30-day period, they will be removed. So 30 days from, I believe, May 9th is the plan, roughly 30 days, that we'll be removing those legacy data sets. So you do have a few days if you need to do some work to migrate something or something was missed. Next slide, please. So there were a number of dashboards that were not migrated because they were not associated to an organization. They weren't published at the organization level. So if you had created something and it was not shared into your organization's group or shared folder, those were not automatically duplicated during the migration. So for those things, there's kind of two different options that we have for people who want to migrate those. First, you can migrate your personal assets to your root folder under your org and mark them for migration. And then you can work with our team, the STAR team, to help make sure those are migrated over so that you can put a request into the help-QuickSight channel in Slack. and we can assist you. Alternatively, if you go to the next slide, you can migrate your personal assets manually. And to check on your assets to see if they were migrated or not, you can, within QuickSight, open the data sources, the data sets for our dashboard, and look to see if they have that Databricks migration suffix on them. And if they do not, and they are, oh, sorry, next slide. And if they are using Glue, you will want to update them so that you can make sure that we have that Databricks duplicate. If you need to, let's see, next slide. If you need to assign a new owner or move your data sets to your org level, you can go into Databricks and move those by first granting permission so that you can move it, and then you can run in the SQL editor an alter statement to change the table owner to your group, your CDR-PDA group. Next slide. So this is very kind of quick. We wanted to just highlight the things that we did and have more time for any questions, concerns, or if we need to work with anyone. So we really wanted to hold back a lot of time for questions, and we also know it's the last presentation of the day. Sometimes a long presentation is not the greatest. So we're very quick, but to summarize what we're talking about today, primarily related to the migration, was that we migrated away from AWS Glue to Databricks Unity Catalog last weekend for any data sets or assets that are using the CDR as a data source. Those legacy data sets will no longer be refreshed in the next 30 days and will be deleted after 30 days. If you have embedded dashboards, we need to remember to update the embed links to point to the new dashboard URLs. If you have personal assets, you can work with the STAR team to help get those migrated, or work to just migrate them yourselves to use Unity Catalog. And if you have any questions, need any assistance at all, please post a question in the Help QuickSight channel in Slack, or you can create a ServiceNow ticket, and those will be directed to us.
Paul, it does look like we have one question in the chat. It says, will state agencies be able to use the Unity catalog without Databricks access?
At this point, this is probably beyond my level.
Yeah, I can chime in, Paul.
Okay, thank you, Justina.
No problem. The answer right now is no. The states eventually that have expressed the need to have Databricks access will be onboarded, and at that point they would have access to potentially some of the notebooks that are available or other tools that we have. So that's work in progress. So please be on the standby and on a lookout for notifications that are going to be specific to the states.
Thanks, Justina. And Paul, I just quickly made a note of that so we can get that copied over for our Q&A then. Okay, at this point, I'm not seeing any other questions in the chat other than that one. We can give it just one more minute and then we can pass things over. Ooh, I went too far. Sorry, my deck is being really, really picky right now. Stay. Hopefully there we go. And I'm not seeing anything, so I think we're okay to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you, Justina, for chiming in as well. So at this point, I think we're okay to wrap up our Q&A, and I'm going to turn things over to Katie Holmes to give a quick wrap up for us.
Thank you so much, and thank you to everyone that attended the last 2 days. We had so many interesting sessions. I know that I'm involved in this work day to day, and even when I come to the data camp, I learn even more than what I already knew about what is happening and how it's benefiting the users. And I always love to see the engagement. So thank you everyone for your attendance over the last 2 days. I'll make this very brief because I know everyone wants to get out of here at the end of the second long day, but I believe Julia is going to kick off a survey, and I really hope that you take a couple of minutes and give some feedback to us. We want to make sure that these data camps are beneficial for you in the future, and we do take the feedback that we get very seriously, and we do make changes based off of it. So Julia, I'll pass it over to you.
Thanks so much, Katie. And yeah, again, thank you so much to all of our presenters, all of our attendees, the team members who didn't necessarily present, but definitely helped chime in the chats and answer some of the user questions. So at this point, I am going to bring up the survey and hopefully go to my next slide. Okay. It was being really stubborn earlier. So this is our feedback survey, as Katie said. It does help us know how we can improve, but also it helps us plan for future data camps. So if there is something that you had strong feelings on, something you love, something you didn't like, something you want to see, we literally take this information to the team, we sit with it, and this is how we base sessions, and we use this feedback. So definitely please give us your thoughts. So I'm going to bring that up now. Okay, it should be on your screen. Um, this is anonymous, so please make sure that if you do have anything where you want us to reach out to, you have an idea that you would like to present, make sure you provide that contact information because we won't get it automatically. And then please make sure you're scrolling all the way down so you see all of the questions. And again, just thank you. As soon as you're done submitting your survey, please feel free to drop. And we hope to see you at our future CCSQ DNA events and definitely at the next fall data camp. Thank you.